Hey Eleanor, how's things? That's alright, actually makes it easier for me to read. Losing flags, I can race a bit, then do my GP. What level GP are you doing? Challenger, how do you think you'll go? Have you dropped lower? Have you dropped any from lower than Series 10? You know, if you go back to Series 6 and 7, it costs you a lot less. You don't lose as many coins. You got to drop more races though. So it takes a bit longer, but you don't lose anywhere near the amount of coins. Fair enough. Airplane Nerd. Good name. Hey man, what makes you an airplane nerd? Yeah, I don't mind, Eleanor. Do you want to know an easy way to unlock asset trading? But you've got to have bucks. That's the only thing. You've got to have some bucks. Plus the crates are a lot cheaper, so... yeah. Do Series 1 and just keep opening crates. Because there's only 2 rares. So every time you open a crate, you get the 2 rares, and eventually you'll open asset trading. But, as I said, you need bucks. But the crates are only $4, so it's not like they're 8. Hey clone, what's that Bodice and Bordelletto already Series 8? I've got Bordelletto and Wobble. They're ready to asset trade right now. But I've had asset trading for about 3 days now. Not that I've actually gotten anything decent out of it. It's been a bit disappointing. But it all counts in the end. I finally decided to do a GP. And it was a bit of a disaster. Dropped 2 points in opening at Baku. Safety car that helped other real player. Yeah. Safety cars. Some work for you and some work against you. I got a safety car in, I think it was Singapore, in opening round, and that really helped. And then the final round, I got absolutely, well, my Sains decided he was going on holidays. Lawson did all right, but Sains was just pathetic. Series 10, Ocon and Perez. But you've got to have them at a decent level. Until then, I used Lawson and Colapinto. but I had them both helped with. I had boosts to help them, but as soon as I got Perez and Perez and Ocon to like level 4, the other two were history. I'll show you, I'm using the same setup now that I used in Series 10. So this is what, these are the drivers. That's dual setup. And that's sprint setup. Well, Saints rare. I don't even know what I've got. Hang on, let me have a look. Yeah, see, my Series 11s, they're nowhere near good enough. I need to get Ocon to level 6. But my Series 11s, they're just not good enough. And in actual fact, in Series 11, Perez at 6 and Ocon at 5 is not good enough either. Rare Saints worked magic. Rare Saints sucked. Man, in the GP, he was a joke. Took every little bit of, every trick I knew. I got him at level 8, right? Every little trick I knew had to be employed to get decent scores in GP. Go back to that one. I'll show you my GP. I'm not impressed. I don't know. I can't remember last year. Yeah, but it depends. Like, if I go to, like, this is what, look at it. This is what I got. This is my final round, right? Every one of those scores, I had to get Saints from like 17th. And in Singapore, you basically didn't budge. But if I go to, yeah, exactly. His race start stunk. If I go to drivers and pull up Saints, where is he? There he is. Look at that. Well, look at the race start. It's just junk. Even with, get away. Come on. Even with 10%, it's still junk. Even Russell's garbage. It's only his race start that stinks. Hey Mike, this AMI fellow on your team is giving me a run for the money. Yeah, yeah. It sucks coming second, right? But it sucks even more when you get beat by a teammate. Let's see if I can spin some coins. Oh, almost. A million. Yeah. Let's hope we get doubles. Oh man, he was terrible. Lawson, they both had race start boosts. Lawson took off, got to P3. Sane started 17th. I think he finished 15th. Like, he just didn't do anything. Oh, I have no sympathy for if I beat my teammates. Absolutely none. You know, that's what the game's about. I don't play the game to come second. Like, I get abused by my teammates all the time. Well, you could have let me win. Nope. I tell them straight out, man, I'm ruthless. If I can win, I'm going to do it. I don't care who I'm racing against, teammate or not. No, I reckon he got safety cars in. I reckon he got a safety car in both. Because he pulled the same. We both pulled the same score in Singapore in the opening round, and I got a safety car. So I'm saying he got a safety car in both rounds because I didn't. But you know, that's the luck of playing the game. Yeah, well, at least it looks better than the old one. The old one looked terrible. I must have benched my child Kimmy and get P1 in Challenger. Old F1 karma. I swear that boost scene makes me cry. Oh, mine, that's 7 years of playing and dozens of GP wins. This game used to be so much easier until they brought in track stats. Track stats ruin this game. I like Kimmy, he's my child, but I don't dislike many drivers, to be honest. People were saying you'd get like 100 boosts in the pit pass instead of 20. 100? No, you'd get like 300 or 400. And you'd get 400 for winning contender GP, and yeah, they got real stingy on boosts. Yeah, I don't know what you get now. I never count them up. Yeah. When Moments came out last year, a whole group of people got them first. And then what they did, like I had it for maybe 3 months. Then they took it off and gave it to another group for like 3 months. And then they took them off them and gave them to another group for 3 months. And that's what I think they're doing this year. But I'll tell you something. This year you get boosts. So there is, you know, a reason everybody wants them. But you can only play it once a week. Well, you can only get all the challenges once a week. But yeah, if they do the same thing they did last year, eventually you'll get them, and you'll get them for a while, and then they'll take them off you and give them to someone else. Well, last year when they had them, you had once a week, and then you had one you could play every day. But you got assets, and the assets were garbage. The assets were trash. But they were still assets. New account also had all 11 liveries in the store. Yeah, well, if you're buying liveries, you know, I can hear Hutch every time you buy one. Just found out odd a new account had it from the start. Yeah, I don't know how they work out who gets it and who doesn't. I was impressed with Timmy's attitude then. His car died on track and that. He went to congratulate Lewis, smiling at night, and didn't throw anything. Yeah, well, I think he's basically learned a lot from Lewis. Never liked Karen though. Always yap. Here's like and post freehand before the race on Insta. Oh, you're talking about Karen Standock? Karoon? I've gotten used to him. He's all right in person. He's interesting to talk to. He's pretty cluey when it comes to F1 history. No. Who's that? Wilma? No, I've been playing the game for 7 years. For the first 4 years, you didn't have to use boosts at all. You just accumulated them. You only used them in GPs. And then they brought in a pit pass where you used to get like 500. So all us guys that have been playing it for a long time, we have absolute thousands of them. And if you're a new guy, you're basically getting screwed over. George is a Karen. Oh, Georgie boy. If I have any tips, yeah, but you probably wouldn't like my tips. If I was to give a new player a tip, I'd say go find another game. When I first started playing this game, I didn't put any boost on. Oh well, tough. When I first started playing this game was really simple to play. And in the last 2 years, 3 years, they've made this game so complicated. There is so much you need to learn to play this properly. Well, not to play it properly, to do any good at it. Well, that's how it used to be. You used to be able to build a setup that would do every track and you didn't have to worry about swapping them in and out. You could just get one setup, do the whole GP, one setup, one pair of drivers. Then everyone started complaining, oh, we've got to upgrade all these parts, but they don't even get used, they're useless. And that's what caused Hutch to turn around and say, well, okay then, we'll bring in track stats. Which just made the game a lot more complicated. Oh, it's like the team orders thing in this game. You know, people complained that cars would sit behind each other and you couldn't swap them round. And the fact was you could swap them round. All you had to do was put one on conserve, hit the other one on boost, and they'd swap place. So Hutch brought in team orders. But what people found was that with team orders, if you had a car in first place and you had a car in third place, and you had the car in first place just cruise like you had first, then a rival, say, in second, and then your second car in third, if you hit the boost, the push button, and you didn't do it on your first car would stop stone dead, your rival would go past and you'd end up in second. You'd end up in second and third. People started complaining about that as well. There are team orders in the game. If you have your car 1, 2, right, and they're right together, and you hit the push button on your second, on the car coming second, your car in first will stop. Same thing, if you've got car at first and second, and your car in first is on mediums, and your car in second's on softs, you push both of them, the car in front will slow down to let the car behind overtake, because it's on faster tyres. You hear people complain, oh, I went to push my second car, my first car stopped. It's like, yeah, that's in the game. I've played this game since March of 2020, which was the end of the first year this game was out. And I've seen it all. I've gone fuel, servicing, DRS, overtake. Originally you only had softs and hards, you had no mediums. People complained they wanted mediums because the hards were too slow, so they stuck them in. Then people complained, oh, now we've got 3 different types of tyres, you know, which tyre do I use? So, well, dudes, you asked for it. Like, don't ask for something and then complain when you get it. It's like now everyone's complaining there's no liveries in the pit pass. I'm paying good cash for the pit pass. I don't want things in the pit pass that don't make my car better. And liveries don't make my car better. You know, it's like flag storms. I think flag storms are useless. Oh, come on, matchmaking. God, this gets slow sometimes. All flag storms do is make you race through a series with half the assets. bugger. I think I just forgot to do something. One of the best things Hutch ever did with this game was put in double coins. But then what do? They make everything so expensive. You know, I don't know why they went and changed and made everything, all the upgrades, so much more expensive. Like, there was nothing wrong with the price they were last year. You know, it's like how far they've raised the flags you need per series. The only thing I can think of is they did that to slow people down. But all it did was slow people down who can't afford to buy bucks. Man, sometimes Ocon stinks. And he's got a better race start than Perez. It helps to climb faster as well. You'll have to go low to farm assets again or wait. No, but the problem is they've made the assets so expensive that you'll have a ton of upgrades you can't afford to do. I gotta watch what I'm doing. Otherwise I'm gonna get beat. Oh, he's gone in as well. Oops. Oh no, that's right. What have I just done? Oh no, that's right. I did screw up. Went to mediums, I should have went to softs. Oh no, hang on. No. Get your act together, stupid. I can't count. Unrelated, but always forgot how tall Ocon isn't. Yeah, I know, he is, isn't he? I remember standing beside him and thinking, Jesus, am I really that short? Yuki was funny, man. He used to pull some good pranks in the paddock. No. No. Yeah, Yuki had a great sense of humour. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We taught him some Aussie slang, and the look on his face, man, was so funny. We have a saying in Australia that means we're not here to waste time, and the saying is we're not here to shag spiders. And we taught Yuki that, and he used to say that all the time. He'd go around every situation he could, he'd use it, and people would just look at him like, where did you get that from? Yeah, Yuki can swear pretty good in Australia now. We took Yuki to a pub in Melbourne one year, and we went there for dinner. We said, oh, we're going to buy a sausage roll. Because he thought that meant a sausage in a bread roll. Well, in Australia, that's not what a sausage roll is. In Australia, a sausage roll is sausage mince that's wrapped in pastry. He thought they were the greatest things he'd ever tasted. He thought, man, it's just a sausage roll. It's nothing special. We wanted to take him to an Aussie barbecue, but we never got a chance. Yuki's really shy too. No, Yuki is shy. We had a couple of girls there that were friends of ours, and they were really interested in Japan because they wanted to go to Japan for holiday. And he could hardly talk. Yeah, I don't know if it was their looks that put him off. Like, they were promo girls. They were really, really, really good looking. So I don't know if that's what put him off. But yeah, he could hardly talk. He wouldn't look at them. But yeah, good old Yuki. He thought it was unusual how away from the track he never got mobbed. Like in Japan, he was always, he could hardly walk around. So many people, like he was so popular. But in Australia, we don't fall all over celebrities. Yeah, no problem. I have no idea how to pronounce your name. Vettel was too serious for me. Like, I've been around Formula One since 82? And back in the 80s and 90s, the drivers were a lot more approachable. They were a lot more fun. Nowadays they're too serious. They've got too many minders around them. Yeah, that's true. Back then, it wasn't as commercial. They still had sponsors, but it wasn't. It was nowhere near what it is now. I do appreciate Max and how he is with the younger ones on the grid. Obviously, D2S didn't show that, did they? Max is real serious when it comes to racing in the car and setup and everything to do with the team. But when he's not on the Thursday, right, when they've got a couple of press conferences they've got to do, you know, say hello to the sponsors and all that. When they've done all that, he's actually really interesting to talk to. And, like, you see him do things that never get shown on TV. Like Max is really into cats. He loves cats. So if you ever want to talk to Max about something, if you ever want to get Max to talk to you, you bring up a cat and he'll stand there and talk to you about cats. Like, and he can name all these different types of cats. Like, his knowledge about cats is unbelievable. Yeah, I've got two cats. One that thinks it owns the place and one that thinks it owns me. Hey, I'm surprised it's actually not here at the moment. I'm surprised it's not. It hates me playing this game. It always tries to, like, pull the cord out of the phone, and I mean, I'm using a tablet, but it likes to grab the cord and try and pull it away from me. And yeah, he's got an unbelievable knowledge of cats. It surprised me. It really, really surprised me. Yeah. Unfortunately, Abu Dhabi 2021 will never be forgotten. Everything about that safety car just made life so hard for a lot of people. It came out on what? Like, I'm an official. I'm an F1 official, right? I'm a member of the FIA and I've got all the, you know, I'm an F1 steward and all this sort of stuff, right? That safety car came out on what we call the oh shit lap. You know, I've been a strategist for a race team, and not a Formula One team, a supercar team. And that safety car came out on what we call the oh shit lap. And oh shit is what happened. Oh, I got a good one for you. I was playing this earlier before I was watching Az's stream, and I was playing this. I had a car crash in the pit lane. Sorry, there was a car that crashed. It wasn't my car. There was a car that crashed in the pit lane. I've never seen that before. Yeah, you're going to get it? Just. Yeah, I've never seen a car crash in a pit lane in this game before. They never called a safety car. That was what surprised me. Crashed in the pit lane, but they never... It didn't bring a safety car. Clone. When I say it was the oh shit lap, if it was one lap earlier, procedure would have been straightforward. One lap later, procedure would have been straightforward. The problem back then was that Formula One was told, and this has nothing to do with the FIA, all right? This is all done by Formula One. Formula One want every race to finish under a green flag. They didn't ever want a race to finish under a safety car. And that was what caused that problem. Because of the lap it came out, if the normal procedure was gone through, it would have ended under a safety car. If it had been one lap earlier, it would have had one lap to race. The problem, the reason it became such a big controversy was because Mercedes didn't know what to do. Red Bull had time to think and make a decision, and that's why Verstappen ended up in the pits and got new tyres. Mercedes didn't. And that's one of the big problems that you run into when you're a team. If that safety car comes out and you're basically at pit entrance, you're at the mercy to whatever happens behind you. If the safety car had been called half a lap earlier, Mercedes would have pitted. But the trouble was they were so close to the pit entrance, they didn't have time to make the decision. Because Verstappen did. If Verstappen had stayed out, it would be no one would be talking about it. You know, there are certain things that happen under safety cars I don't agree with. I don't think you should be allowed to pit under a safety car. I think all pit stops should be made under a green flag. I don't think you should be able to change tyres under a red flag. I think that's not fair. I don't think cars that have been overtaken should be allowed to unlap themselves. And I've put all three of those things to the FIA because we have these meetings, right? Being a member of the FIA and being a member of the FIA safety group in Australia, I put all these questions to them. They all get rejected. And the FIA, since it's been under MBS, the president, the president, I can't even pronounce his name, I just call him MBS. Well, actually, I call him Mr. Bullshit, but anyway. Ever since he became president, it's just got worse. Yep, that's what happens, Eleanor. That's one of the problems with being at the front, like being in first place. I don't think they should be allowed to unlap themselves. You know, if you've got the leader and you've got 5 lapped cars and then you've got second place, that should be the way it stays. You know, this rubbish that you let those 5 in between first and second unlap themselves, so second gets a free ride up to the back of P1, I don't think that's fair. But it's all for entertainment value. Yeah, MBS, Mr. Bullshit. You know, Formula One, yes, it's entertainment, but first of all, it's a sport with big rewards. You know, like this tripe that's going on with Monaco, where they cut the corner going into the pit and everyone got a 5-second penalty. Well, okay, if they've overturned it for Gasly, they should overturn them all. Or they should make a rule that you have to stay between the white lines when you enter the pits. We'll take Abu Dhabi 2021, right? They unlapped the cars, but then the cars never even made it to the end, to back around. The cars were halfway around the lap. I just don't think it's fair. It's like these reverse grid races they have in F2. I don't think they're fair either. You know, you shouldn't be able to qualify 6th and then start on pole. You can probably gather I'm pretty tough when it comes to rules in motorsport. Yeah, exactly, Eleanor. You know, look at George. George would have been in the top 5. I think they should rescind all of them. If it's good enough, if the reason is good enough to reverse Gasly's penalty, then it should be good enough to reverse all of them. I just see it as manipulating the result. Looks like it's going to rain. It's going to be fun. They're going to go to wets. Nope. Yeah, got to go to wets. I think they should void Monaco completely because they messed up so much. That would end up in court. That would just become a bigger mess because the teams would just take them to court. Mental pressure. It would be tough, but he'd probably be able to accept it because it shouldn't have been applied in the first place. If it's an absolute blatant breach of the rules and they've reversed it, I'd be pissed. But because it shouldn't have been applied in the first place, it'd be easier to handle. But the fact it's your first podium and it's Monaco and you lose the trophy, it'd just make me hungrier to get another one. Check this out. Man, they run into other cars and they just stop. But I don't think that saga's over yet. I think there's more to come. I don't think you've heard the last of that one. I want to see what the official report says. I've seen the press statement, but I want to see the official report. Because if if what they said is true, I would want to know how that timing link ended up 77 centimetres out of place. You know, Formula One usually don't make stupid mistakes like that. You know, when it comes to the timing and electronic links in the racetrack, they're usually pretty good. So I'd like to know just how they screwed that one up. Because that's definitely not like Formula One. What I don't understand is when I heard that there's no radar gun. Like, there's always a radar gun in Melbourne. And the times I've been to Singapore, there's been radar guns, as well as the timing loops. So I don't quite understand why there was no radar gun in Monaco. Once my team came third, but after half a day the school board decided we should be fourth. We didn't give away our medals and didn't return them for a week. I can remember a situation where they reversed a decision and the person had to give back, I think it was a medal too. And he just said he lost it. And as far as I know, he never handed it over. We'll be back in a minute. the most interesting S11 Duels ever. Oh, that's nice. I need to race my GP. Yeah, you probably should. Time consuming. Yeah, that's why this is the first one I've done in about, I don't know, 3 months. Yeah, as much as I like sprints, I find they can be like, oh no, I've got to do 4. I've got to spend half an hour. Work days. I don't have work days. That's something else. That's something I'd change about this game. I get rid of the 3-hour coin timers, and instead of having 3 3-hour coin timers, I'd have 9 1-hour coin timers. You know, I've got plenty of time, like I only work 1 day a week, and that's only when I feel like it. Yeah, if they had 9 1-hour coin timers, it'd be a lot better, I think. Like after 3 hours, and you've got to do them. You can't not do them because they're worth so much. And after 3 hours, you're just cooked, like you're brain dead practically. Like even though I'm just sitting here playing this game and there's not much exertion happening, like you're just exhausted after doing 3 hours. That's why I do mine during sprints. At least there's something like you clock off. One sprint is like half an hour. And then you seem to go through it a lot faster than just doing sprint after sprint, like just doing race after race after race for 3 hours. It's like that sprint crate is like this little 3-minute break you get. But yeah, after 3 hours, it's just brain dead. I want to go to Series 12, but I just don't have the setup. Like I'm 1 flag away from Series 12, and I have been since last Monday. The car's just not good enough to go to 12. Because I don't want to go to 12 and then not be able to like win the majority of races, which means I then end up wasting coin timers, probably end up getting like P4 in sprints, you know, I want to be able to do a sprint in at least 5 races. So I'm actually waiting until I see what the rotation is. Do Series 11 this week and do see what the Series 12 rotation is on Wednesday and then decide. And if it's a good one, at least then I've got 2 weeks. Or I've got, you know, a few days before the next sprint. Well, don't worry, the Series 11 one's not much good either. But it's crazy. The last Series 10 had Monaco and Zandvoort in it. This rotation has Monaco and Zandvoort in it. And Zandvoort's a nightmare. Like, once I figured out you could do no stops in Monaco, it was all right. But 8 laps of Zandvoort's it's just hard work. There's no consistency in it. Oh God, I hope not. Couldn't be any worse. Come on, go. Like Zandvoort is, it's just... And half the time it's wet, which makes it even worse. Like, it's bad enough in the dry, but when it's wet, it's just like, oh, God. Shoot me. I need to get Ocon to 6, which at this rate will be be Christmas time. When I got Perez to 6, it made a big difference. But Ocon is still lagging when it comes to Zandvoort. You know, ideally I want to be able to do sprints in 4 races. And in the last rotation of Series 11 I could. But this one, I miss out by like less than 5 points to do it in 4 races. Which means I then got to do 5 races, which means if I'm lucky I might get P2, but most of the time I've got P3. Yeah. What is it? So it's speed this week. This is defending. What's that? That's race start. Yeah, probably. Look, defending. You know, it's just... Worst part is you've got to come up with a compromised setup, whereas all the bots have setups specifically for the track you're on, which makes it so hard. You know, I want a car stat rotation. not a driver stat rotation. What happened to Andy? Didn't he make final round? Mr. DRS. I hate this driver 1, driver 2 garbage. Yeah, it'd be nice. Hey, there's a good one. Go straight through the middle of them. Or straight over the top of them. Yeah, I thought he would have been up before now. I think he's hoping that if he plays it later, he won't get any real players. Except I think a lot of people think that way. Oh, I've got hiccups. Reboot what? Oh, come on. Man, why can't you overtake? Yeah. Yeah, I know it's not anything on this end though. I was watching Denny's stream last night, and man, his is even worse. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I reckon I could do... Oh, wrong one. Should have done the other one. Let's see if you can catch P1. Shouldn't be that hard. Yeah, I was watching Denny's live stream last night, man, and his was shaking so bad. I can't figure out why it randomly cuts out. Like it cut out in yesterday's opening round, it cut out in today's final round. Yet now, look, been going for a couple of hours and it's fine. Well, a couple of hours and it's still running. God, legendary crate. Come on. No. Oh, well. All I'm after is another gold crate. Check. What are we up to? 1797. Yeah, good. Genesis Magma. Where do they come up with these names? This is kind of weird. I've been playing this for, what, a couple of hours? Haven't got Zandvoort at all. You watch, I'll get it 3 times in a row next. I shouldn't have said anything. Genesis Magma. Man, those Mercedes have quick pit stops. Oops, wasn't watching. Yeah, the only time I ever seem to beat them is when they do some stupid, strange strategy. Hey, gold crate at last, yay. I'm going to breakfast now. I want to see what I've got sitting here. Junk. Junk, junk, junk. Hey, Eugenia. Jeez, I hope that was said right. It popped up right at the end. Oh. I'll show you how to change asset trading. All right? Go back. Go back to here. Go to... Where are we? Oh, no. It's a car part. Hang on. Go to here. Upgrade that. Oh, no, actually. Maybe it won't. I think it has to be in... Yeah, I don't think that will change it. Yeah, it won't. If that wobble had been in here and you upgrade it, then it changes. Oh man, what am I going to use? May as well go for a rare. This might actually be useful sometime in the future. $99. What point does this reward have we got this time? Oh, more legacy coins. Whoopee. This is some junk. So, where'd we get to? 186. Let's see, I'll still sit in second. Yep. So what do you get for second? Okay. So what do I get? 131 Tempest. The only big difference between first and second is the number of boosts. Oh. And I don't say Gasly. Though we're getting closer to maxing out. I'd still need, what, 200 and... What's he at? He's only at 400 and something, isn't he? $490, and what do I need? 784. So that would make it 620. I'd still need another 150. Wouldn't mind Bottas, because that'd almost get him to asset trading too. 130 would actually 131 would make it 1109. Where are we? Series 9. Downforce, yeah, 131 downforce would be nice. Awesome. Nah, that'd be a waste. Curver. Yeah, that'd be alright. Flashpoint, yeah, that could be a... Won't they? I'll get garbage, for sure. Charge call. It'll be one of these two. Be Stratos. Stratos or Tempest. I'll find out, I suppose. In what? 10 hours time. Anyway, that's enough for this morning. I'm starving. I'm going to go and have some breakfast. Thanks for dropping in, people. It's been good to talk to you. Eleanor, Clone, Eugenie. Who else? Tobias. Ahmed. Sorry, I can't pronounce that. Who else is in here? Oh, hang on. I know what I forgot to do. For those that asked, they're the drivers. That's the setup. That's the dual setup. That's the sprint setup. The difference being this one gives better qualifying. A lot better qualifying. But that's it. Anyway, 2 hours. Oh no, it hasn't cut out yet. 2 hours and hasn't cut out. That's a miracle. Anyway, thanks for joining. I'll talk to you next time. Might pop up for sprints later, I don't know. I mean, that won't be for hours yet, but anyway, have a good GP. See what happens later on. Bye-bye.